Until December 1st.
I already got it, don't argue.
I think I got rid of all the background.
You don't understand why.
Call this meeting of November 24th to order. Please rise for reflection and pledge allegiance. Dear Lord, thank you for enabling us to gather here this evening to conduct the business. Help us to hear what is presented, to make sound choices, and to share the things that will benefit all of us here in Castle Shannon. Help us to manage and solve the various challenges that we face as a community. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Here.
Is absent. David Silas.
Here.
Kevin Durant.
Here.
Jeremy Young.
Here.
Paul Coffey.
Present.
Here.
Michael Hood.
Here.
Dennis Biondo.
Here.
Ken Truman. Paul Mittmeyer. Jason Gannon.
Here.
Public notice and executive session was held on Monday, 27th,
That's what we're almost done over there.
5 and 6 p.m. to discuss financial, personnel, and pre-decisional policy matters. And an executive session was held this evening at 6 p.m. for the purpose of collecting information or educating agency members about issues. Are there any revisions or additions to the agenda? There being none, we'll move to public comment on agenda items. If anybody would like to address council on agenda items, please step up to the podium and state your name and address. There being no one stepping to the podium, we're going to recess council for a move to recess council for a conditional use hearing. Columbia Gas proposes a minor land development to construct a natural gas regulator station in the R3 zoning district located in the wooded field at 958 Foxtoes Avenue. A complete conditional use application has been submitted.
Thank you, Madam President. Yeah, this is the time set for the continuation of the conditional use hearing that was previously held before council. At that hearing, the council directed the planning commission review the matter go back to the planning commission for review because there were a lot of unanswered questions. Planning commission did meet last week. Columbia Gas representatives were present. We've answered all the questions that were posed by the planning commission or members of the community. Planning commission at that meeting, at the end of the meeting, did recommend that the conditional use request be approved, subject to applicant complying with all other borough ordinances and requirements such as land use and subdivision development and stormwater management, which would include a development agreement and a stormwater management agreement, and complying with all standards of the Public Utility Commission that would be applicable. With that, it would be appropriate for representative of the Columbia Gas to add anything that they wish to be considered, or
We need a motion. The recess.
it's part of here. It's part of the meeting. So I'm assuming that we're opening the conditional use hearing and asking Columbia Gas if they have anything they want to add, or representative could step to the podium. I believe there may be questions from council. And before anybody speaks, could we swear everyone in who's going to provide any testimony at this hearing? Gregory John Mark.
That's right. Raise your right hand. You swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. Remind me your name.
Evan Canady.
Thank you.
And whoever is going to speak, could you let council know who you are and what your role is in this project?
Paul raised his hand too, so I don't know if you caught that.
She did.
Yeah.
Yeah, she looked. I saw her look. Paul has been sworn to. I don't know if he.
Thank you.
I can start. Greg Kilmeyer. Yeah, we've discussed it, and I think you guys are familiar with it. If you have more questions, I'd be happy to answer if I can. And also, the stormwater agreement, I think, was sent over to you with some slight adjustments. The landowner doesn't, want to agree to that, which is understandable. We are, willing to take on that responsibility since we're building it and going to be managing the site with our reg stations. I didn't know if that was acceptable.
I did look at it. I wanted to get from you the actual easement that was recorded that's referenced in the agreement. So if you could send that to me, we could,
If we could,
I don't know whether or not that's going to work, but I'd like to see that before I know. I want to make sure that issue is that whatever your stormwater management agreement or stormwater management plan, which has been approved by the engineer, whatever is in that plan has to carry forward to the next property owner, who may or may not agree, be recorded, so it would carry forward with the land. I don't know if your easement would allow for that to occur, so that's why I wanted to see what the easement document looks like.
I've been Canadian from Keystone Consultants. I'd be happy to provide that to you tomorrow.
Okay.
The document that's referenced in
Right.
this is that easement, so I'd be happy to provide that tomorrow.
okay. I think we're also able to be flexible if there's stuff that, that maybe would make it work, but it's not exactly how it should be worded. We could probably maybe get in contact with our legal department to discuss that stuff.
Okay. When you send it over, could you give me a contact for your legal department then, so there are things that we can discuss?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Okay, does anybody have any questions?
Yeah, I did. You mentioned a stormwater agreement. It's the first thing you just mentioned. Sent it over today. Exactly what does that agreement mean? Does it mean you guys are in charge of the stormwater runoff, or as long as you own the property?
That is how I understand it. The lawyer wrote the agreement, but I believe the way that it was worded was for as long as we have the easement and are operating there, that we take responsibility for the stormwater. But again, don't quote me on that one because I didn't.
So where does the runoff go?
As of right now, with the stormwater management plan,
No, when you guys take it over, how are you going to plan to effectively take care of the stormwater runoff?
That would be from our stormwater management plans that LSSE has seen and approved of.
Maybe you could explain, is there, what's the amount of stormwater? Is it going to reach the road, going into the borough's storm sewers? That's the kind of questions I think that.
Yeah, is it a gravel driveway? Is it,
It is a gravel driveway.
is that going to wash out? I mean,
And that's something that would be
too far.
That's something that would be maintained by Columbia Gas. As for the calculations, fortunately, our engineer that you called, seen here before, he had surgery, an unexpected surgery this morning. So it's going to run off. That all depends on weather, but I can assure that the borough engineers have seen the plans and have approved them. So
we can provide those calculations if that's something that we can also provide as well. Follow up.
Can I ask a question of Jason?
And
Yeah, I'll need to be sworn in.
Oh.
Yes.
Mhm. You swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God.
Yes.
For the audience, Jason is the borough's engineer.
In terms of the proposed stormwater, they're to be privately owned, meaning Columbia Gas will own and maintain them. A lot of the stormwater that's generated from the conversion of pervious area to impervious area will be managed on site with best management practices that have been designed as part of the site. And primarily that will be infiltrating into the ground. That's the biggest MP that the applicant is proposing. There's also an earthen mound that precludes any runoff from getting to public street. But in summary, that stormwater agreement documents the proposed BMPs and that Columbia Gas or their successor will maintain those and they'll be privately maintained.
So I do have a question. This is far enough back, I don't really see a whole lot of rainwater making it to the road. What about trespassing on the lower properties? What are we gonna do to stop it from doing that? That would be more of a concern for me.
Yes, and as part of the site plan process, they've graded the site such that the runoff generated from the proposed regulator station would not drain onto the adjacent properties, but be piped to their best management practices on their site.
So it's an improvement all the way around compared to what it is without them being on the property.
Yes.
Yeah, we have 2 swales planned to be put in to divert and also under drain as well.
Did you give your name to the council?
It's, Brian Dawson, I'm project manager for Columbia, oversees construction of the project.
I saw that.
Okay.
Last.
So if anybody had any questions, there's a visual here.
The other question that came up, I don't know if you had any other question about stormwater management. The other question that came up, I think, last time, as well as the planning commission, was security of the site. Did someone speak to that? You know, fencing, monitoring, cameras. Chief of Police is here today. You may be interested in hearing some of that.
A small update for you. So we have a corporate security group. I contacted them to put in a request for them to come down and take a look at the site and then give any of their recommendations and get with you and then kind of to discuss security. And also, there is a gate going at the end. As of right now, we don't have a fence proposed for the entire site, like a security fence, but it is a locked building and anything that we have outdoors, which will be a PRV, will be fenced in security fence.
PRD? Yeah.
Pressure relief valve.
Was there any lighting? I don't recall. No?
I don't believe this site has inside the building.
No, I meant outside.
I don't think we have.
No.
I would have to go back.
Not even like a security light or anything. No.
I don't.
Normally,
Do you remember?
most of our sites, especially residential areas, we don't have those unless there's a specific request or need for one. It's something it shouldn't be a major issue to add on solar lights, things like that. Because we're not running power back to the site, but it'll be solar.
Was your concern that a light would be on 24 hours a day or at night?
Just at night, yeah. Nothing.
I don't know, would that mean, with neighbors around there, would that though?
No, I meant just to light the general area. Yeah.
Or would lighting attract people that,
I think no lighting would attract young kids. That's what I think. But hey, who's to me to say, right?
what kind of a young kid were you?
It's been a while since you've been a kid.
Yeah.
And I know there's always concerns with safety and all that stuff, but when it comes.
I know you mentioned about this is going to be more state of the art
Well, it's just a
compared to a lot of the other ones, correct?
I'm sorry, we have to talk one at a time because I can't get back.
We don't mean to be quiet.
No.
From last time we were speaking, this is supposedly more state of the art, correct?
I was talking like site security, but yes, this will be more state of the art.
As far as consumption and the gas.
The regulators are
Yeah.
more state of the art. The system that we're building
Okay.
is more state of the art than what currently exists in most places.
Yeah, usually you see like a light on the brick or something, just a simple light, but there's going to be nothing.
You don't have to roll that out. I mean, if that's something that you guys are requesting, I mean, we could take it back and it's just as long as we don't break any ordinances or anything, I think we could put something maybe in front of the door.
I mean, that doesn't bother the chief. It doesn't bother me. That's not my
Maybe a motion detector, so if somebody does come in.
a motion sensor light or something. I don't know.
That's definitely, it's not currently in the plans, but doesn't mean it can't be added to the plans.
This year we'll be having a field day.
So just to touch base on something you just said. So you said about a gate. So the gate's going to be like at the bottom of the driveway at Boxtos to prevent vehicles from driving up there. Okay, that's good. Two, just kind of a follow-up from last time. So we were talking about the regulator, we were talking about the alarm system. So the alarm notifies you guys of a problem, and there was a question, does it also activate a call to 911 to alleviate a problem? You were going to follow up on that.
So we don't call 911. The system that we currently have will alarm us of very minor issues. The station just fluctuating, slightly. Like we wouldn't really want to, bother 911 with calls like that. I believe we can work something like that in our system, but I don't think in this case it would be beneficial. Most of the alarms we receive are very minor alarms, and we get people on site, before there's an issue. Very slight variations that we respond to.
So back to the stormwater, you said there was going to be 2 swales,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
Do they eventually stop before they go all the way to the street, or what?
Well, we slowly taper it.
Taper it.
It's the road. Yeah, it's a little.
So just slowly leaches into the ground.
Yeah, there's going to be one where the grading comes down just before it flattens off. We have the access road, the gravel road, and then another one just the other side of the access road to prevent anything from encroaching on the neighboring properties.
Could you speak a little bit to the effect on the neighbors, like screening, the fence could be seen from the adjacent? You've spoken to the neighbors. I know there were a couple of persons at the planning commission meeting who spoke.
Spoke to them, and the plan is now to have a fence and also shrubbery trees to grow around to kind of block their view and all that, so it's not bothersome to them.
And all that, the landscape plan and the fence is all part of the land development plan that you've submitted to the borough's engineer.
That's what I was just about to say, that all of that was within the land development plan, but here is anybody would like to?
I'm fine.
Okay.
Here's one here, though.
Also, the building, it's a metal building. Only we'll paint like a green or a gray, but we're paint steel, so we can.
No camo?
We can work with
Good.
it. And then the fencing will have those privacy slats in there to kind of keep things
Right.
less visible.
Maybe when it's in completion, the chief can take a look at it and see if he thinks it's adequately protected from use from kids or whatever. And if we thinks we need a security camera, we can maybe, is that a reasonable request?
Madam President, what I heard the gentleman say is that corporate security is looking at it, and then we'll be in contact.
Yeah, can I get one of our cards just to make sure that I can I'll pass it on, yeah.
Brian doesn't want
We have a service at Bevel Park where if you go in there on Napster, park outside the gate for too long, it'll be Bevel Park and these will respond.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was saying, I pass on.
Are there any other questions or
Be appropriate for the, any public comment? Questions?
any public questions or comments?
Gerard Combs, GERARDCOOMBS.
Did you raise your hand when she was
Yes, I
swearing?
did. See me sitting back there. As far as, because I have to address her, I'm not allowed to address you guys. There's mention about the stormwater management. There's also a borough ordinance. Any driveways and parking pads that are newly established, X amount of that has to be concrete or asphalt. I understand this is going to be way back off the road. Is the borough suggesting that X amount of that driveway be concreted or asphalted to prevent the gravel from coming out onto Markston's?
Jason? I don't know.
If I want to put a parking pad in front of my house, it has to be concrete or asphalt so that I can get out onto the road.
There is that requirement in the ordinance for a stabilized driveway. Without looking at the drawings, I can't recall if that's proposed. As part of it could be made part of the conditions of approval. As tonight, we're in the conditional use aspect of the hearing, land development, and another cycle, first for planning commission and then in front of council.
Right. I understand that. It's going to be back ways, and I can see it's not cost feasible because, as these gentlemen explained at the last meeting, there's going to be minimal amount of people in and out of there. It's not like somebody's coming in and out several times daily, but I would think that at least X amount of that driveway heading in should be concrete or asphalt, and that may be able to be incorporated into their swells to prevent that water from coming down off of that concrete and out onto the roadway, or any of the gravel from getting out onto the roadway, which will eventually end up in the storm sewers and could cause problems that the borough will have to deal with.
Now, Paul, do you have,
Well, as Mr. Stanley,
Suggest something like that. According to our ordinance, it's going to be a minimum of 18 feet. I mean, if you just go the 18 feet width at the beginning, if you needed to, you felt that there'd be minor gravel going into the street. I can't see it going all the way up in that area.
as Mr. Stanley indicated, the purpose of this hearing is to determine whether the use is an appropriate use. And not so much the land development part of it, the subdivision part of it, the stormwater management part. Those could all be conditions and would be conditions that you comply with whatever the other borough ordinances are. And that, if that's a borough ordinance, that might be one that you need to comply with. But that would, as Jason said, that would be next steps.
okay,
Okay. Thank you.
thank you.
Any other members of the audience? Council, any questions? Any other questions? I guess it would be appropriate then for council to either continue the hearing to the next meeting, if there were any reason to do so. You could deny the request, approve the request with conditions. I would suggest that if you're going to approve it, that the conditions be such, the approval be preliminary so that staff can create the conditions that we've all talked about here tonight and put it in writing. You want this to be in writing and approved at a public meeting.
So we need to make a motion to go to the next step.
Correct.
I'll make that motion.
And the step two would be to approve with conditions.
With conditions, yeah.
Right. And the next step would be that the next council meeting, testimony is closed. You don't need to present anything, but at that point, council would be able to prepare a document for them to look at, and council can see what those conditions are as well as you.
So we have a motion to
I'll second.
approve with conditions.
Mhm.
And we have a motion from Kevin. Do we have a second?
Second. Jeremy.
Jeremy, second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. So I think that you have a direction? Okay.
Thanks, Phil.
Thank you very much.
I would be here at the next hearing. Have someone here. I don't know if you all need to be here. Hear what the
Officials are.
You want to leave a couple of those?
I'd be happy to. Get these organized for you.
Paul, do you want a coffee?
I have stuff.
Okay, you have yours. Okay.
if that would close the conditional use hearing, I know the court reporters
Okay,
can leave.
close. Producer, thank you so much. And return to council business meeting.
You're supposed to come here.
Jeremy?
Thank you.
Thank you. You too. Do we have any public presentations? The borough manager's going to propose 2026 budget.
I don't think it's doing what it did the last time we were practicing with this, and I did everything the same way I did last time. I am going to try it. Let's see if we can share. There. I'm gonna let's do this. Stop sharing. That's.
We're having a commercial break. Anybody have a bathroom break?
Stabilized. Okay. Spoke too soon.
It moved here somewhere.
Here's the way we figured it out.
Generally, you find us up there on the screen.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Technology is great when it works.
So last time we did it, we said. What's that? That was the next step. You can't. See that I have to shut everything off and then start one step at a time. Okay.
Are we ready?
I think we might have solved our little IT glitch.
Okay, our technical problems I think are solved, so we're moving forward with the proposed 2026 budget draft.
Oh, yes. Madam President, Council suggested that I try to keep my remarks brief this evening and just pretty much just review what was discussed at the last meeting. And so I'll just quickly remind Council, members of the audience, that the projections for the real property taxes for 2026 are using the valuations from 2025. Staff anticipates receiving the 26 valuations from the county sometime later in December or first of the year. Collections traditionally run in the 95 to 98 percentile. And for the projections that staff prepared for council this year, we used a 90% collection projection, just to be on the conservative side, to make sure that there is sufficient funds for the borough to operate. And I would say that in terms of any of the other revenue areas, Staff went line by line, looked at each and every line item that was in that particular department, looked at historical numbers in terms of actuals, looked for trends, and looked for any types of potential increases or decreases, both on the revenue side and the expense side. That's the revenue summary and then the expense summary. As was mentioned at the last meeting, increases to the legislative body as a result of Ordinance 942, which was the revision for mayors and councils compensation. We also increased some dues and membership to better align with some of the expenses from that department. In terms of the executive, there really aren't any major changes. There was a revision made to the health insurance to better track the actuals. There was a small increase in memberships to provide staff the opportunity for some additional online and in-person training. In terms of financial administration, there was a change this year. As you recall, the recommendation for last year was to bring in a third-party accounting firm to handle all the accounting tasks for the borough. It was decided to keep those tasks in-house. And so the revision is to have an accounting firm that would be available on a as-needed basis. And so that's what those funds in that line item represent. And so that we're seeing a 34% decrease in that particular department. In terms of tax collection, we are seeing a fairly significant increase this year, 62%. Part of that increase is due to resolution number 765, which revised the tax collector fee, increased the tax collector fee. A couple of things we did in that particular department was we split out postage from the office supplies for better transparency for that particular cost. We are seeing increases in collection expenses, and we are seeing that there have been some refunds that hadn't been budgeted before. So staff attempted to try to predict some of those increases and incorporate that into the tax collection budget. In terms of the law department, our staff is recommending no change. And I'll just remind council that the borough will be negotiating bargaining with the Public Works Union in 2026. In terms of the clerk and secretary, why it's blinking. In terms of the clerk secretary, we kept a small amount of dollars in so that Lori could come in and provide a little bit of oversight when we have some questions that are first the types of things that we only see maybe once or twice a year that we're still trying to incorporate into our workflow. In terms of the personnel administration line item, we added some money in for Chief Trooper so we could advertise for civil service. MMO for non-uniform is down 50,000. Liability insurance is up 11%, but that's pretty much offset by workman's comp being down 16%. And there is a potential that the borough could receive a rebate based on experience at the end of the year. Data processing. We're just going to turn this off and try again because I don't know why it's blinking. This was what we had happened last time we were doing our test and we thought we fixed it. That shows that I should have done a rehearsal this afternoon instead of saying I thought we had it done. We have nothing. We're going to stop sharing. I'm just going to apologize for the one or two people that might be on the Teams call, and I'm just going to. All right, now.
Can you just work off of that screen, Michael? And then
Yeah, I'm going to just, let's see. Thought I stopped sharing. In terms of data processing, we created a new line item, computer miscellaneous. That's to take some costs that were in the capital fund, and because they're small recurring monthly expenses, we move those into the general fund. Some dollars to our software services. As you know, we're going to be moving our financial software to the cloud this year. We are going to add some software for the scheduling of our fields. And what I did do to offset some other costs is I reduced this the software services line item by $3,000. Those are some contingency dollars that we thought we might need in case we needed something for our financial software. I removed those contingency fees in an effort to reduce costs that council had asked me to look into. In terms of the engineer, our engineer, no changes from last year. There's buildings. This was something that a major change for this year is all of the public lighting, all the electricity is being removed from the general fund. It has been moved over to the streetlight fund. We also increased the gas line item to better track the increase in energy costs that we're all experiencing. In terms of the police department, we saw some increase in personnel costs due to contractual obligations. However, the chief and I did go line by line in his budget and look for every opportunity to better track funds and actuals. The uniform MMO is down $30,000 this year. And so ultimately we were able to hold the line for the police department. Also, we removed the $600 from the truck inspection line item. That was because of the retirement of Sergeant Fleckenstein. And we no longer needed that expense. That was also something that I was looking for in order to find those offset dollars that council had asked me to look into. Fire, we're seeing a little bit of an increase due to a little bit of a larger contribution of $8,000 this year. Ambulance, the assessment will be the same as last year's. We did move a $3,500 expense to a new line item, which I'll mention here in a moment. And that really was just to better track that expense. And it really should not have been in the ambulance line item. In terms of protective inspection, really no major changes there. We were able to find some decreases in better tracking some of the healthcare costs. Planning and zoning, we're seeing an increase because we inadvertently reduced the subscriptions last year, so we had to plug them back in this year. Emergency management is the new, whoops, let me go next. All right. In terms of emergency management, that is a new line item. And that's where we placed that $3,000 for a reverse 911 subscription that the chief manages in his role as the emergency coordinator. Solid waste, as a result of the audit that we worked with Waste Management on, we were able to hold costs down. There are actually less homes being serviced by that program, and so we were able to maintain costs for 2026. I do want to just point out to council and the public, it does remain one of the largest line items in the general fund budget. Under highway maintenance general, that's our public works folks. The increase there is because we're adding seasonal employees to monitor the splash pad. The anticipated mix with those seasonals will be 4 full-time seasonal, 1 part-time seasonal. Of course, we can mix and match to stay within that budget. In terms of the other highway maintenance line items, there really aren't any major changes, and we just look for opportunities to reduce those costs. In storm sewers, I would just mention to council that we moved the major repairs we moved to the capital fund to represent those types of projects that are large in nature, and reduced that one particular line item just to address the smaller maintenances that we do.
I have a question. This highway maintenance general, and then highway maintenance snow and ice, only $1,000, and then $22,000 for sidewalks. I don't know if it should be reversed or.
No, well, sidewalks, you have to remember that these are departments that have multiple line items within those departments.
Okay.
And so that one may be small only because there may be a few line items. And in terms of the sidewalks, that's where our sign budget is. And that in itself is a $10,000 line item. So that's why that particular line item is a little bit larger than the one above it. The snow and ice, that really is more for the downtown area.
That's for that.
That's not our salt.
Particular.
Right. That's
chemical that we need for the.
Sodium chloride for downtown. Highway maintenance for our winter maintenance. That's
Sidewalks, calcium chloride.
Yeah,
that's probably for the downtown.
Yes, calcium. Culture. There's really no major changes. In terms of parks, this is where we did see some major changes and an increase in that department by 58%. And a portion of that is because the summer rec program has a feeling that they're going to be paying more counselors in 26. Recruitment for the folks that need time, community service time has been dwindling a little bit. We also increased our operating supplies, the amount of water that we anticipate spending, increased sewage. We've added line items for splash pad maintenance, turf maintenance.
Still sharing?
No. I was with blinking. I just thought, well, I'll have to just stop sharing and try to.
Okay.
And then I'll come in tomorrow and try to play with the technology and see if we can perfect this.
It's red outline over there.
I have my notes from the last time of how to get this thing set up, and for some reason it didn't work tonight. We also increased the line item for building repairs. We also found a ratio for the number of reservations we get for pavilion usage to the amount of refunds that we give. So we incorporated that change. That's part. Trees, we eliminated that particular expense because we hadn't used it in a number of years. So in an effort to find dollars throughout the budget, we eliminated that expense. In civil and military celebrations, we lowered the civic group donation. My understanding is I think we're making a change to the Unity Day line item. As you can see, no changes in economic development. Intergovernmental expenditures is our SHACOG membership. No change there for 26, although I know that after being at the last board meeting, there's a discussion of what that might look like for the coming years. All in all, expenditure totals, excuse me, jumped a couple.
Care fund?
The operating transfers, that's the $25,000 moving to the reserve account and $100,000 for the sinking fund for employees. Expenditure totals are down. And as you can see, our operational surplus is a little bit lower this year over the prior year. And let's see here. I'm going to skip through some slides.
For anybody that's interested, this information is all on our website.
Not yet. This is in draft status.
Okay, it'll be on the website.
After tonight, it will be.
Fine.
We will make the revisions online and available, hard copy available for anyone member of the public to come in and inspect. Just wanted to list out the all of the other funds. And this slide is a revenue summary showing the differences between 2025 and 2026. I would say that most funds are, for the most part, pretty balanced. As we mentioned, we're making a change to the streetlight fund, moving all the general fund public lighting into this particular fund. And also because of the energy increases we've seen, what we're going to be doing is moving 0.2 mils from the capital fund to the streetlight fund to help offset those additional expenditures, which I'll get to in the next slide. And then we have a summary slide for the expenses. And then a slide to address revenue and expenses. And I'll try to go real quick through these funds. I've already mentioned the streetlight fund, sewer fund. Really, there's no major changes, as you all know. Alcosan's increases will increase. Alcosan's fees will increase 7% this year in 2026. CAP is recommending that the borough component of that sewer bill not increase. In the capital fund, this is where that mill levy revision will happen. I will just remind council again that the borough has applied for a number of grants. And the plan is that any park projects will only occur if the grant fund requests have been granted. And that really would be a very similar thing for some of the other grants in the capital fund. For example, the new salt storage facility, that's a grant that we've applied for. I can tell council that staff is anticipating as much as $425,000 in grant revenue in 26. That would be coming from 3 grants. Reimbursable grants, and we've been working very closely with Lynn and Smith to get those pay requests in and get everything processed so that we can be receiving those funds. I just once again will point out to council that we've got a couple of larger projects. The phase 2 of the streetscape, that's a $1.34 million project. 50% of that is a RAC-P grant. The other 50% is going to come out of the capital fund. And then we've got wayfinding phase 2. That budget is at $160,000, and that staff and Leonard Smith are working very closely to keep that budget to being just a strictly funded through grants and no out of pocket for the borough.
Can I ask real quick, that RACP fund for the
Streetscape phase 2?
Phase 2, right? Is there an end to that money? Is there a drop dead date when that money has to be used by?
There's a date that we've got to spend the money by. We're still within that window. We investigated that last year when we ran into the issues with Ice Castle and the sidewalk, and recognizing that we were going to have to delay the project because that was programmed for 2025. And we were concerned that we might not be able to go into 26, and we were sure we could. So we should be in good shape for that. But we do have to resolve the issue with Ice Castle before we can do that project.
So, Jason, that's on your radar at some point to get that bid?
That's another consultant from phase 2.
Oh, that's
KU Resources.
Yeah. Thank you.
We programmed a new police car for the chief. We've programmed a vehicle for Public Works. As I mentioned earlier, we've moved some funds into the stormwater line item to address the larger projects that we might be faced with in 26. And that pretty much summarizes the CIP budget. Both sinking funds, I would say, both are stable. I don't think there's really much to say with either one of those. Reserve account, we're hoping that we can make those transfers in 26 so that we can continue to build that reserve account. It's basically rainy day money for the borough. In the liquid fuels fund, as you can see, budget will be tight this year, but we think we can manage with our paving projects and salt for 2026. In terms of library, I would say that their expenses went up 2%, or projected to go up 2% in 2026. And revenue is relatively static based on their mill levy. And that's a very, hopefully, brief summary of both the general fund and the other funds. Is there any questions if I can?
Any questions? Any questions from the public?
Madam President, I'd just like to voice my opinion that when it comes to the civic and military budget, I believe we should take it back to the 15,000 that it previously was set at, so we can afford to put on Community Day.
I think that I think that you were going to work on that, or what was your recommendation for that?
So the original allocation was at 10,000, as council may recall. This year there was some question of who was paying which bills, and so the borough inadvertently wound up paying a bill that we really hadn't intended to. I was really watching the budget pretty closely. We were staying within the $10,000 that had been allocated for 25. And then all of a sudden this other bill arrived and we were asked to pay it. So unfortunately we went over budget by 5,000.
Say 10,000 will be adequate.
If we were to maintain the level of commitment that we had for 25, yes.
Okay. Any other questions?
Can I just say something? I want to thank the finance committee and the manager for all the work they put into this. Whether we agree on it right now or not, I just want to thank you
Yeah,
guys.
it is a lot of work. Squeezing those nickels and pennies. So I guess we need a motion to approve the proposed budget. No? We need to approve the minutes. If everybody's had a chance to review, November 10th meeting, if there are no additions or corrections, I need a motion.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. We need a motion to approve the proposed budget for 2026 for Chapter 16, 1308, staff requests authorization for council to advertise that the proposed 2026 budget will be available for public inspection for a period of 10 days, commencing Tuesday, November 25th, 2025. The proposed budget will be available for public review during normal business hours, and it will also be on the website.
We'll have a draft on the website. It'll have to be marked up so we don't have all sorts of copies floating around. So it'll be marked up as a draft.
Okay, thank you. So I need a motion to authorize the borough manager to advertise the proposed 2026 budget to be available for public inspection. Who made the motion?
I'll make the motion.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was already first.
No, I'll make the motion.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Oh, opposed?
Opposed.
We have bid awards, contracts, and resolutions. What's it?
We need to do the motion and second for the approval of the budget.
One before it, huh?
Part A for that.
Move to, I'm sorry. We need a motion to approve the proposed budget for 2026.
I'll make the motion. Make the motion, I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I'm still opposing.
Okay, so we did the B already, so we're in good shape.
Need a roll call vote when there's an opposition.
Let's do, the minutes reflect who said yes and who said no.
Are we good? Bid awards and contracts and resolutions. I don't think we have any. Council committee reports, community engagement and events. Have Willow Wonderland, I guess.
Coming up,
Hello, Wonder.
they're still looking for volunteers. Some work, you can get in touch with the CSRC on that. And I did see it being advertised on the billboard on 88.
Online?
Yeah,
Yeah, I saw it today.
I saw that today. So looks like it's going to be a little bit bigger and hopefully a lot,
Yeah, it was a lot of fun last year. Really nice.
I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to make it.
And Madam President, if I could just add to the comment, I did reach out to all three of the billboard companies. The three agreed. The third turned us down, and I'm hoping to have a conversation with their senior folks because they did actually advertise for us last year. So I'm not exactly sure. It sounds like there's some new staff that really didn't understand the program. So we really weren't able to get that taken care of this year, but we're going to follow up on that. Because we have other events, other community events that I'm sure the council would like to see advertised on those billboards.
Where the billboards at?
Coal mine,
Martin Auto Gallery.
Martin, and there's a car wash.
Okay. My traffic there.
Finance committee?
Yes, I received two check registers. We'll concentrate on the first one, dated 11/14. I just need this explained. I know, I'm not going to mention any public work employees who attach these expenses, but the 11/14 report, it was a boot reimbursement for one person, $539.90. Then you jump up to 11/21, you got boot reimbursement of almost $600, Then the next two guys are 195 and 199.90. How can that possibly happen?
Madam President, and I'll let you finish after I start. I must have grabbed my folder when I came in. Per contract, there is a boot allowance that every public works employee has. And so what I have a feeling some of them do is they buy their boots throughout the year as needed. I have a feeling that some folks, and it's contractual, that they can spend up to that limit, and they're just going to be spending that limit at the end of the year. And that's something that we can discuss, council can discuss in terms of any proposals for the next bargaining session. Did you want to add?
Pretty much just that. They have a $600 food allowance. A couple of them do just wait till the end of the year to buy them.
But they buy several pairs at the end of the year.
Yeah, not all, just one pair of boots. It's at least
And Vicky tracks.
I do have a tracker.
She tracks what each employee has spent so that we can make sure that none of them accidentally overspends.
Okay. That's
Wow. We'll have to look at that next time we negotiate public works. That's for sure. Yeah, so the register of 1114, Vicky, I'm good with. You guys explained that. There's one more item under 1121. L. Thomas Towing. Public Works vehicle was towed. Cost of $502.25. What vehicle was out that needed towed?
Madam President, one of the Public Works vehicle was for some reason mechanically rendered inoperable. And so the truck was transported from the Public Works building to the Ford dealership. And so the cost incurred was those towing expenses to get that truck from Public Works over to the Ford dealership.
$502?
That was the bill that
To go from Public Works to Kenny
Pricey sub.
Well, it's to
That's
the,
not even a mile.
it's to the other, what is the name of it?
Oh, Wilton Way, actually.
Oh, that's different. It's hard.
Yeah.
Still $500. Yeah, so Vicky, I'm good with 1121 now that you guys have answered that. Can I bring up one more financial item? This was really under council mail, but State Senator Nick Piscitano, thank you. He got 1.8 million in change from the Gaming Economic Development Tourism Fund. So there was numerous communities in his jurisdiction, and we received 25,000 for the Fountain Street stairs and retaining wall, and he also got that along with State Rep Dan Miller. My question is, I've seen some different numbers when we were including the steps with the wall there, and we really weren't going to go ahead with the wall with the steps. Did we only ask for 25,000?
Madam President, I'm going to start answering that question, and I may look over to Jason should I need some help. So the borough applied or submitted a grant application. I don't recall the dollar amount, but that was the award. It was only 25,000. And that's part of the problem with some of these grants is we could ask for $300,000 or $400,000. And unfortunately, as they try to split that 1.8 million, every community gets a small handful of dollars. And that's the situation that we found ourselves in with the Fountain Street project. The game plan is that we've submitted for additional grants, leave a multimodal.
Yes, and so the borough has 50,000 in GEDTF funding from 2024 for the Fountain Street repair. And last week, the additional 25,000, we've got a whole 75,000 through that funding program. We asked for 650,000. We also have grant applications from the local share account for 2024 that will be announced in January, as well as multimodal. In order to qualify for multimodal or a portion of multimodal, it had to be multimodal. So we kept the stairs in for that aspect. depending on the award, there might not be enough money for the stairs and just the retaining wall. So that's part of the strategy in terms of leveraging different grant programs against each other to minimize our general fund or our capital fund expenditure on that.
Oh, you mentioned 650. Was that for steps and a wall?
Yes,
Okay, so how much are the steps? You subtract the steps from that.
it's still north of the $500,000 to stabilize that section of Fountain Street.
Is this a state grant or is?
Yes, it's through the Commonwealth Financing Authority. It is, this particular program is Gaming and Economic Development Tourism Fund. It's administered through Allegheny County Community Economic Development. So essentially, it's Allegheny County's local share of the gambling funds funneled through CFA, funneled through the county. There are other grant programs out there that are directly through the Commonwealth Financing Authority that are a little bit more generous in terms of grant funding.
I was going to say, the list that was in our council mail, I mean, 25,000 is okay, great, but
Yeah,
these other communities got a lot more than that.
Well,
And I'm not trying to.
and Madam President, maybe I could just add, and again, I'll probably look over for help. Center Piscatana was successful in the borough receiving $225,000 for the Smith Road Bridge.
Yes.
So where my conversations with Senator, his staff, their goal was to try to award the borough significant amount of money so we could complete that project, knowing that what happens, much like the Fountain Street project with only 25,000, we can't do much with that. But with a pretty good percentage of what the project cost was for that particular project, we were successful. So we've received additional dollars, and that's what's helping.
Are they matching or is it full?
ETF, there is a match.
It's match.
And
50-50.
I think there's a 30% match, but what we're trying to do is leverage different grant funding. That is the match.
Oh,
rather than-
I got you.
And we are pursuing other avenues for Fountain,
Yes.
that particular, not Fountain, Smith Road Bridge. We are still planning on having some additional conversations with PRT. And if I'm not mistaken, I did see an email recently with some documentation that the permitting process for that particular project is moving forward.
Yes, the state permits for the stream encroachment have been sent to DEP for their review. So that's a long process, but those were submitted last week.
Oh, when you put the paperwork in, when we put the paperwork in to get these monies, and we said it was steps and a wall, if we're subtracting the steps, we know that, they don't know that yet. Are we going to get any kind of fine for not going ahead with the steps?
And what we've discussed with the different funding agencies is if we don't get the entire request, in order to implement the project, we have to cut scope.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of,
Eliminate this, yeah.
Well,
that's what.
value engineering, if I remember terminology.
Yes.
So we would do some value engineering for that particular project.
Okay, well, thank you.
So there is an active strategy on all the fronts. I was disappointed that we only got 25,000, but that GEDTF is smaller award. Historically, we've gotten larger dollar amounts and larger grant programs. And if that's what our legislators are lobbying for, I'd rather get the ones with the more commas than the less commas.
Thank you.
Okay. Any more questions? I think I need a motion to accept.
I'll make a motion.
Motion to pay the bills. What's this? I need a motion to authorize the payment of all outstanding bills and invoices totaling $245,175.70 from the general fund, $11,200.08 from the streetlight fund, $114,578.61 from the sanitary sewer fund, $6,716.41 from the capital fund, $150,000 from the liquid fuels fund, and $10,155.63 from the library fund.
First number, I think is correct on there, and I think you read it wrong. It's 254. Did she say 245, Vicky? Okay.
I did hear it, and yes.
Okay, there we go. Just as long as we got the right number. 254, 175.
175. It's my dyslexia. I need a motion then.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries, thank you. HR personnel, we have nothing.
Madam President, I would just update council that we did receive a memo from the labor attorney reviewing the draft employee handbook. I read through the memo this afternoon and plan to, once we've completed the budget cycle, plan to get back and start working on that with a bit more rigor to get that completed and hopefully have that project completed sometime in the new year.
Can you get it in by the end of this year?
I don't think
Probably
it's
not.
I don't think it's going to happen.
Planning and codes, nothing. Public safety. Our department, there's no representative here. Public works.
Madam President, I spoke with the foreman this morning, and he just updated me, and they have is working on all leaf collection, and so they're hoping to wrap that up this week. Last of the asphalt has been put in to repair potholes, and I'm guessing that we'll have being that it's around a holiday, we'll probably have a minimal crew for a few days.
Board reports, Allegheny County Boroughs Association, their general meeting will be December the 11th, I believe. Thursday, and we're in October. Stay here. December 11th, it is December 11th. And the new officer will be sworn in, and I will be being sworn in as president of the Allegheny County Boroughs Association Board of Directors at that meeting. So hopefully we'll have some people like to attend.
When is that, Nancy? When?
This was all
Stand to the side. Zoomed out of here.
The third annual craft and vendor fair was held on Saturday. The library raised $1,209. Talking about Willow Wonderland, we're having our Friends of the Library will be sponsoring a decoration party on Tuesday, December 2nd from 5 to 7 p.m. They purchased a few kits, gingerbread house kits that people can reserve and register for the library to decorate them. It's also a perfect opportunity to clean out your leftover Halloween candy. So if you have any at home, they are accepting them, donations of candy. So what's going to happen is these gingerbread houses are going to stay at the library, and then they will be on display at the library from that Wednesday until the Saturday with Willow Wonderland. People will be coming to the library like they did last year to view the gingerbread houses. Something that's going to be starting on December 1st and running through January 17th is a short winter story contest. We're asking you to create an original story with a winter theme in 500 words or less. Staff will be reading the stories. Some stories will be selected for display in the library during the month of February. Like I always say, to find out more information about what's happening at the library, check out our website, our social media pages, and sign up for our weekly email. And our next restaurant fundraiser for 2025, the last one, will be Texas Roadhouse in Bridgeville. That will be Tuesday, December 30th from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. That's all I have for you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Oh, yes. Donna Phillips, our library board president, came to me with the idea of participating in the Mr. Rogers 26th Mr. Rogers Neighborhood Sweater Drive. So we have containers at the library upstairs and downstairs in our program room to collect new or gently used sweaters of all sizes. And then we'll be collecting them up until December 18th, and they will be dropped off at the Children's Museum on December 19th. I think the goal is like 50,000 to collect. So if you have any sweaters, your family has any sweaters, to the Children's Museum.
Okay, thank you. Medical rescue zone?
Yes, our next meeting is day after tomorrow, Wednesday, the 26th. And I think we're okay on our budget there. So I don't think there's going to be any raise at all for Mertz.
Good.
So that's a
Good
blessing.
news. Shaycog, anything?
Yes, we concluded our year with the last meeting that was held here at the borough on the 20th of November. Aside from the general meeting review of paid bills, minutes approved, we were introduced to a candidate that was approved for the executive director position that is replacing the recently deceased Lou Gorski. There was a number of applicants, but this gentleman, Patrick Connors, who lives in Whitehall, started in local government in 2015. He worked in the Edgewood area, South Fayette, and is currently at Quaker Valley, a job which he'll relinquish at the first of the year when he moved over to the Shaycog. And for that training, how the operations of Shaycog will work. And then Patrick will visit all of the municipalities to introduce himself and see exactly how each one operates. So that'll be January of 2026. Patrick Connors is his name.
And we attended, I was at that meeting. He was very impressive candidate. So I think he'll fill Lou's shoes nicely. Allegheny County Southwest Tax Collection Committee?
Nothing. Yeah.
Nothing? Mayor's report, anything?
Yeah, first of all, Chief wants to talk about the Boys for Tots.
Thank you, Your Honor. It's the presence from police, but it's along the same idea. We've been running this program. It's started with the Aspinwall Police Department. I think 14 years they've been doing this program, and most of those years we participated. We have collection boxes out in the lobby here, down in the police department lobby, at the library, Heather, thank you, and at Coffee et cetera on Willow Avenue. And I believe we added a fifth location at the 7-Eleven on Mount Lebanon Boulevard. We'll collect unwrapped children's gifts, and they will go to Children's Hospital, the Sunrise School, and Children's Institute. We'll collect those gifts up until December 15th, and then that following week, we'll take all those out to these locations and collaborate with the other regional police agencies who are collecting gifts. So, thank you.
They also collected the annual Allegheny County Board of Directors for the police. They come and, they collect toys there. We bring toys to that event too for
Same program.
presents from police. Yep.
Thank you, yes, ma'am. Thank you, Your Honor.
Great program.
Second, I want to say, in the 50 years that I've been involved here, we have, talking about grants, we have received hundreds of thousands of dollars. I mean, hundreds of thousands of dollars because we knew people. And I don't recall how many times I spent in offices with our state officials. With Senator Murphy, we turned down $1 million. You believe that? We turned it down because it was for the Grove Road Bridge, and it would have cost, it had to go through the state, and it would have cost us $2 million to do the bridge. We got it done for under $1 million because we got something like $600,000 or $700,000 from the state and from the county, and then we put up the other 200 or whatever it was, and we got the bridge for $900,000. We got that through Kaiser up above. And that was a lot of money. The salt shed we got from, that was over $250,000. We got that from Divot. I mean, I don't want to go on and on, it wasn't all me, but I was involved in all that. So it's not what you know, it's who you know in state government or even local government, county government, is where you get the money. So we don't do that anymore. Most of the people that I know are not there anymore because they all died or whatever. But anyhow, Fontana was a great guy. He was a great guy to have in your state. Believe me, you can go talk to him anytime. Go into his office anytime. Tell him what you want. He may not be able to give it to you, but he'll get something for you every time. He was a great senator for us. And we had a lot of local reps like Mike Divin. He did a lot for us. So I'm just saying, you don't do that. It's all political. It's all political. Just don't ever, don't think that you just sit here and you got to put pressure on these guys. You got to let them know what you want. That's all I have to say. That's just a little history.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mayor.
I'm going downtown tomorrow.
Manager's report.
Madam President, I would just echo the councilman's sentiments from earlier and just thank the Finance Committee for all your time and effort in working with staff to draft a budget. It was challenging at times, but we were able to
not raise taxes.
We were able to not raise taxes.
Again, we are not raising taxes.
Not raising taxes.
I just wanted that to be said one more time.
Solicitor's report.
I have nothing.
Real estate tax collector, it's not here. Public comments for non-agenda items. Comments? Old business? Any old business? Any new business? There being no old business, no new business, can I have a motion to?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
What's that?
Make a motion on the motion.
I'll second that. I'll second that.
Planners. Oh.